Jeff.
Hey, hi.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Hey, hi. That's Ben. Ben's with Duckhill Workshop. Woo-hoo. And you are in the workshop at the Gardens. If you've picked up on it lately, it's kind of in the picture. If you picked up on it lately, we are now calling the shop the Workshop at the Gardens. Yeehaw.
Is that part of this, like?
Yeehaw?
Yeah.
No. That is not part of it, but we could do it. Is it wee or yee or?
No.
No. Nothing like that. Anyways, we got a cool build going on. We have a wedding coming up where they requested a really big, huge, cool harvest table in the center of the tent. We just happened to have, from about 20 years ago, you were, that's pre-you, this big tabletop that I made for a party. We had a clam bake and lobster boil thing, and it was fun. But this is like 9 feet long and 50 inches wide. But it's still not big enough. We are adding wings to it, so 2 feet more on each side, and then we're actually going to make another one of these. So in the, what? We're going to make another one of these, and the wings will be able to go around one of the center poles in the tent, and then it'll be 22 feet long, and you can have 24 people at the head table and have a party. So, Ben's working on the wings. I gotta go get some 6x6 cedar for the legs and the bottom, and we're gonna make it so one person can move it. Maybe not set it up, but move it. Anyways, when we're done with this, we'll throw some pictures in from the wedding, a little video from the wedding of the whole head table decorated up, and it'll be pretty cool. So watch all the way to the end and see a beautiful wedding. All right, as we mentioned, as we mentioned, we're doing a few things different on this build than if you were making a kitchen table and it was just sitting there. This is gonna be mobile, so we're putting it in and out of the tent at midnight. So the center truss system that we just kind of finished putting together has a couple things. We made this little metal flange, and then there's also one on the leg assembly down there. Those we're gonna fit in, and the other thing that we are doing, so when we go at this, just slides right in, just slides like that, and a bolt will go on there, and that'll go in there. But once that's in, if your tabletop were completely connected to the legs, then you would have that perfect little gusseting system, and it would be there. What we have to do is actually add another piece of gusseting in here to the top of the leg, because the whole base right there is just going to be floating on top. So we're adding another Yeah, I'm also playing cameraman. You got to figure that out. We're gonna also add another little receiver, a little angle iron underneath there. And then I just made these guys here a piece of angle iron that will get screwed on there, but they also have a nut assembly on the end, so that will be able to screw in there, and all of a sudden then she all tightens up. So all right, as with any first build, you'll always find one little tweak you didn't account for. We needed a little bit more space in our angle iron. It's there. We believe the base is ready. As you can see, the truss, that's what will be visible down here. This will be under the table, and now we're rock solid. So we're gonna fit this bad boy on. There it is.
Touchdown.
All right. Looks nice. All right. King's Harvest table build is complete. So, Ben's off to have fun. He's going back. He's swinging for grandmother.
No, we're going to Ely.
Oh, you're going to Ely. He'll have fun. I'm going to be putting a couple coats of polyurethane on this. I have 2 wings. Grab that. You don't get to see it in the final because I won't do any final. But the wings will go on. And when both wings are on here, it's going to be a 13-foot table. I'm going to make the other legs for this. So I'm going to show you now how we make the legs in a little bit of video. And that's that. So I'll be doing legs and putting some clear coat on this, and then it'll be installed in a couple of days for a beautiful day. Thanks, Ben. We demo everything just in case. They don't know how to flush, but you can dance on the table. It's not going anywhere. All right, tabletops are done. We did 3 coats of polyurethane on top of this, so this is all nice and sealed and ready for the first wedding. We needed to finish this up so that we could get those coats and it could dry, and then we'll do the legs here. Speaking of legs, we're going to jump over here and finally show you how. Watch this modern technology of a tripod. Woo! Yes. And there you can see some of the beautiful corner of the shop. All of our fasteners are in this corner. It's slowly getting organized. All right, let's talk legs. We are using the 6x6 rough cedar. They're 27 inches long, so I'm going to make the 1 measurement up from the bottom. The 2x material that goes on top of the legs plus the 2x material of the tabletop gets us 3 inches. That gets us our 30-inch table height. Where our brace is coming across, we're using the top as our 0 as our reference, and then measuring down for each thickness. Because when you get into rough cedar, everything's within 1/8 of an inch, so you want to kind of check and map each piece to the joint. All right, so this was 3 11/16, so I measured that down, gave me a couple marks down there. If you didn't know, fancy framing square, but they're also measures. So this is exactly 1.5 inches, and the thicker part is exactly 2 inches. So we'll be able to use this in this half-lapped joint. We're going to use 2 inches our thickness. So instead of messing around with a tape measure, you can just come in and line that up flush right there and put your mark across there for the 2 inches. And same thing for the thickness of the lap, the tenon that's going in there. And boom, we'll drop that line in, and there we go. Now to cut out each of these out, we're going to use the circular saw. Some people say, hey, why don't you use a table saw, because that's there, or a dado blade. It's easier to move the smaller piece, and the smaller piece is the circular saw. I'm going to be using a worm drive, but just to zip through it real quick, put the 2 clean cuts here and the 1 clean cut there, and then just hit it real quick. When you're working with cedar, it breaks really easy, so you'll just take the chisel in there, click, and they'll all come out, a little bit of chisel work, and you're done. A lot easier than moving this big piece of wood through a table saw. All right, so I'm gonna knock these out, and then we'll come back and assemble the table legs. Yeehaw! There it is. 13 feet of King's Harvest table. All done, just in time. Hour and a half to spare. And then we'll be installing it for tomorrow's wedding. And it's gonna be glorious. Probably not much footage of us installing it. I'll take a picture after we're done, but tomorrow we're gonna get some pictures of, and a little video of it all decorated. And the first wedding at the new King's Harvest table will happen.